Gentlemen, what is up here today? This is your man King Viper here, talking on the mic, and today we are going to be doing some. That's right, yes, some IndyCar Series 2005. This is the first race I have recorded. It's been a while since I have done this, so if you guys all enjoy, leave a comment in the description below, and yeah, subscribe to my channels. So yeah. This is really the first of the many series of what hopes to come to be a good one. And for you guys that haven't played this is very related to the first game, which is IndyCar Series, the first game that was released out by Codemasters and Brain in the Jar Development UK. I do contain it, which is in the original Xbox format. And this is original Xbox format as you're displaying on the screen. But if you're wondering why the graphics is so much more better, that's because I am running this on Xbox 360 format. Now, we're going to do this IndyCar Series at race 1 out of 5. Race 1 out of 16. So we've got 16 races, including 2 new circuits, I think. So we're going to race as here for this series. We're going to race as, I think, our Unser Junior. I like Unser, he's really good. So we're going to be doing this on 20 laps a race, and the skill level is going to be on Pro. Now let's listen up for this here for the introduction. Now before I get started, I will be doing these videos. It will be under the title of the original Xbox. Just be like, IndyCar Series Race 1 Xbox. This will be uploaded to my channel. And yeah, so leave a comment and put plenty of likes on. If I get more than 20 or 40 views for this first video, I will exclusively give the people that need car setups, I'll give them my email address and a copy of the IndyCar Series car setups. And I'll give them to you exclusively from myself, and that's if I get over 40 likes. So if I get over 40 likes, and at least 10 comments, then that's what I'll do, and I'll promise that I'll do that to anyone that's looking here for an IndyCar car setup. Anyone here that wants it, first person to click on the, so yeah, so. Without further ado, let's get started, and here's the race introduction for the first round of Miami Speedway.
Welcome race fans to what promises to be yet another breathtaking and action-packed IndyCar Series season. First up on the agenda, Homestead Miami Speedway. This 1.5-mile opening became part of the schedule back in 2001. Sam Hornish Jr. went on to win the race by 1.87 seconds over Sarah Fisher. Since that day, Homestead Miami has been host to some of the most exciting racing around for drivers new and old. Now, don't assume you can take it easy just because this is the first event. Racing here is no pushover. You'll need to give it your full attention in order to drive effectively and safely. The shape of this oval means that you'll be doing most of your passing in the turns. Just be careful that you don't lose too much grip when attempting to pass, as the cars here will be set up with the lower downforce speedway wing configuration. Also beware when exiting turn 2. Keep it tight in the groove, as this corner can be deceptively sharp. Indy, a rookie, has ended his first race of the season in the wall here. Champions are made of those who put in steady laps and keep their noses clean. Don't sacrifice your car in order to gain an extra couple of positions.
Right, so that's the race introduction here. So it's going to be very interesting out for the qualifying session. I do have car setups thanks to Zerd33. He's the person who supplied me with these car setups. Now about that as well, if I get over at least 100 views for the end of this series, if I get over 100 views in total, I will exclusively do individual videos for each track and car setup, and I'll run you guys through how I did this and this and that. So without further ado, let's get the qualifying draw started for the Toyota 300 Indy Miami. Top speed we have to beat for pole position right now is 207.55 miles an hour, and that's by Canaan. So it's going to be this is going to be exceptionally hard here to this fact. It's not a time that it's impossible to beat. I mean, I have averaged 210 miles an hour here before, but to get that time takes a very significant amount of skill. To the fact here with this game is that the deal with this is the faster you go, the better it is. Now, if you guys are wondering what's this new series and that's starting up, well, it's basically myself here doing an exclusive playthrough for all this for anyone here that's been trying to look for these videos. I have noticed people have done these videos in bits and pieces, and so yeah, so we're getting the qualifying started, and so this is my out lap. So yeah, so basically this is almost exactly like the first game. Just the thing is, the cars are faster, the handling of the cars is better, the graphics is realistic, and also when you spin out and hit the wall, the cars get realistic amount of damage that you would expect. The damage system on this is very complex, so if I crash out in this first race, I will attempt to get my car repaired. I can assure you guys that.
This is your last qualifying lap. Push it to the max.
As we cross the finish line here, we get a 2:06.49. That's very quick, but it's not quick enough.
That run puts you in second.
Yeah, that is second place, so behind Kanan. So Kanan with a very good pole position there, so not bad at all. So Weldon's in 21st there, and Herder's down in 8th. So as I said, this is going to be a long series with Unser Jr. And yeah, so there's Kanan on pole. And yeah, and if you guys are wondering what the difficulty settings is, this is on the hardest. It's on pro difficulty settings. I'm running with automatic transmission for some tracks and manuals for others where it benefits. And yeah, so I have speed shifts off, traction control off. And yeah, but when you race with these pro settings, the one thing you've got to be aware of is that you've got to adjust your fuel mixture setting, your weight jacker. You've got to have your car set up precisely for each track. Thanks to Zerd, I was able to do this, and my qualifying times used to be about 10 miles an hour slower, or at least 20 mile an hour slower than the average qualification times. But thanks to these car setups, it's worked a lot more better. Surprisingly, these car setups I think were more designed for this game, because I'm not saying anything, but when I was speaking to Zerd, he did say he was getting some times at Nashville of about 212 miles an hour, but that's about the average speed that I'll be averaging at Nashville on this game. And on this game, all these car setups seem to be perfectly suited to every car, whereas on the PS2 version, it's most probably more designed for the PS2 version for the cars and characteristics and handling. But I've used this for Xbox because this is the only car setup that I ever found. I was surprised when this was released out by Zerd that this car setups, they weren't released out for both platforms. They were only released out for PS2. My guess was that it was exclusively for PS2 back then. The original IndyCar series game, that game was great. It had great AI, great drivers, a lot of iconic guys. That would have been about, most of them guys would have been from the IndyCar Championship, from the kart championship days before it formed into the IRL, which I'm not too sure if that was from the 2001 season or 2002. I think it was from the 2002 season driver lineups, and the game was released in 03, and this one was released 2 years later, I believe. But the incredible graphics jobs that they did, Codemasters I think went out with a bang when this game was pretty much all released out. This was really a childhood game for me, and yeah, so as we ride along here with Unser Jr., So we almost spin there. The thing is, you have to watch at this track is the note on here is the downforce and ride height on these cars is very important. If you're a person that likes to go all out, because with me here, you'll see the cars will stick to the track quite nicely. And if you're wondering, the reason is to that is because the ride height and the springs and dampers are set just right, and the downforce and the toe-in is correctly set, and the gear ratios for most of the tracks will be wrong. For a track like this, the gear ratios were way too widened out. They were more designed for 4th and 5th gear to be pretty evenly spread so that you would conserve fuel. But when you have them set right, you'll have them set just perfect, because like the AI, honestly, to believe they'll have they will run with the stock car setups for the first game, but on this second game you have to have them all set up. Now, a track, as I'm going to talk about at Kansas, the AI is averaging at least 236 for a speed qualification mile an hour, which that's over 360 k's an hour. Now, if anyone here is watching this in Australia, I know for a fact on average that they would be averaging at least 210 mile an hour or 215. Because the games are slightly more different, I definitely do know that those times are impossible to reach, but I did everything, horsepower, car, you know, ratio and everything else like that, and I'll do an exclusive test drive session on that to show you guys. I'll do a test drive, and I'll put that in part 2, in part 3, once I finish the main race and the standings of it, and I'll show you guys just exactly what I mean if I can get any help with it, because fastest speed I ever got there would be about 227 miles an hour, and I'm about struggling with 230 mile an hour. It kind of reminds me of the Indy 500, how I saw on a lot of forums and videos that people were complaining about, my car's too slow, Indy 500, I haven't got the speed for it, I can't keep up with them, you know, and I saw that, I got that an awful lot. So yeah, so as our fuel slow here, we're going to pit in, so it looks like the rest of the field did.
Watch your speed in the pit. Keep it under 60.
So you've got to keep it under 60 mile an hour coming into here. So just over there, just under 60 mile an hour. And yeah, so as I was saying about Indianapolis, I have all your problems solved there. And I will do an exclusive track and test day run there once I've done this series finished. This series will take me quite a while, but it's a series that I'm pretty committed to do. Yeah, so it's so far so good throughout this race so far. Next race is at Phoenix, and then we have Twin Ring Motegi coming up. Motegi is about the most competitive track you'll find on this game, to the fact that no car setups, you can't really be that flexible with what you call gear ratios and downforce. I mean, you can put the downforce under 10 and the car won't stick. You've got to have it at 13 to 12 at the minimum, and the reason that it got to be reasonably high, but you know.
7.6 seconds ahead of Sharp.
So looks like our teammate here, looks like our teammate Scott Sharp is behind us, and obviously we've got a huge lead over the field. So massively paying off on a benefit there. So Kanan, Sharp, the Farron with the halfway point on lap number 11. So yeah, so this is the gameplay. So I'll ride a few laps on board here. We might get a caution period here. I'm not too sure if we will or not. If we do, it's good. The only problem that's going to occur in some short track races is the possibility of a caution period early on in each race.
You are 1.8 seconds ahead of Kanan.
And to the fact that in some races you will get them, some races you won't. In caution periods on Pro, I've been very accustomed to it, and that was massive there. I almost lost the rear end there as I spun out. That would have been pretty nasty. And I've seen the type of wrecks that you get on this game, and it's very much like NASCAR, pretty much like NASCAR on this. And yeah, the gameplay, the physics, the handling, they're all exactly the same from the first game. It's just improved on graphics, driving style, you know, how you adapt to it. It all comes down to that. Looks like Roger Yasukawa there coming out of the pits for repairs. This is a kind of a cheapskate round here at Miami. This is a track that I could race out all day long and not give a stuff about, because this track is just so easy in terms of how much you have to give away. Because on this circuit, it's pretty basic. The only thing is on this is just more acceleration. You just need more acceleration out of gears here. And you know, this track where I'm running with reason why 5th gear, you'd say, why the RPM so high? That's because to the fact here so that you can run over 200 mile an hour, because 4th gear on this is ridiculous. It is ratioed all the way up from 164 mile an hour from 3rd gear all the way up to 205, all the way up to 203 on 4th. Now on this, 4th gear is ratioed from about 132 from 3rd, to about 176 from 4th, and then 176 to about...
Looks like you're out of the race.
Alright guys, that scene there you saw just shortly there before, when this bit cuts out, when it transitions over to this, yes, I know, a lot of people will be leaving a lot of questions here on it, about they said, you know, what the hell happened, you know, why did, you know, you redo it. Well, to the fact is I can't edit the video, and that was totally accidental, and I had too much of a good lead, and as you see out here, I'm pitting out from where I started. So there's Kanaan back there in the distance, so just ignore that first little part there, wherever this transitions from. Now, as I said before, if something does accidentally happen like that, you know, because that wasn't meant to happen. But you see, I'm practically at the halfway point when I come out of the pit, so basically that's why I did that, because then that makes it easier. So Kanaan would have a lot of speed rolling on him right now, tons of momentum. His tyres would be warmer than mine because he's been rolling out for a lap now. So I got a 2-second lead over Kanaan. So he's charging hard. He's seen the payoff, big benefit there from Team Andretti Green. I definitely do know on that the teams are very good for the AI. They jump out at practically the same time. The only difference is on timing is if you modify your fuel pitch strategy. Now you see that? That's what I'm talking about right there. When you slide out, now that's what I mean. My ride height is so low. Just like I said before I restarted this again at the halfway point, my ride height is so low that you got to make sure you have maximum heat in your tyres, maximum grip, and you got to stay on the line. The reason why I run so low on this track is because if you go outside too much, you got to chop off the throttle. And certain tracks here have got certain speeds. You'll see the AI back off. That's because in this point they got certain bumps here, and I really should be backing off too. You know, you'll hear the revs just slightly drop a little bit. You'll hear them slightly tap off or drop, and that doesn't really matter there too much. Yeah. As long as you don't jerk the car too hard coming into that last corner. One thing that I've been doing too much in this game has been jerking the steering wheel too much. If you jerk it, you're going to suffer. But if you don't jerk it, you're going to be fine, because that's what happens. You give it so much force when it rides over the bump, is that it disrupts the car. And that's what a lot of people will find out on this game, that when you exit the draft, but you'll lose a lot of speed, just like in there. If I ride too low and jump on that bump there, I'm just going to lose all my speed. My momentum's just going to sag off. So Kanan here still's got a chance. He's still fighting. So Kanani's given everything he's got. They're hounding me down.
1.6 seconds ahead of Kanan.
Got to ride out on that high outside line on the lane here. This is where I was up to, 4 laps to go, and I was just entering into my third and final lap, and this is where I spun out. So I've basically gone up to this point, basically totally gotten up to this point.
You are 2.1 seconds ahead of Kanan.
And very loose there, very loose. I think I'm going to have to chop off my speed a little bit more, because I don't think the car is able to be handling that at the moment for that speed, because the speed is so fast that you have to slightly adjust it a little bit, but you have to back off as well. Like that, because when I enter in so fast like that, the car can't handle that speed.
You are 2.6 seconds ahead of Kanan.
So final lap.
This is the last lap. Yellow flag is out. The pits are closed. Brack is out of the race. DeBarron is out of the race.
So they got a caution under the final lap. What a way to end this off here. Just over 22 minutes this recording, where I was scheduled to have that time at. This is very interesting right here. Very interesting indeed. We have a yellow on the final lap. So basically this is going to end under yellow. I don't know why the hell the yellow flag would be why it would come out on the last lap.
Awesome racing. You pulled it off in fine style.
So from second to first, we had an excellent run here. So yeah, so there's Kanan for Andretti.